So, this is going to be a hard video to make, but I'm up for the challenge. Who is hated more and why? Is it Deku of My Hero Academia, or is it Tanjiro of Demon Slayer? Welcome to Jack's Corner, everyone. Let's get into the video. So before we begin, I just want to mention I had to get some help from my friends on Twitter to see exactly what are some reasons that they are both hated so much. And honestly, it seems that the majority find these two either A, way too damn emotional like Deku's crying, or B, they just find them generic and boring as hell, especially comparing to other shonens. I'm not going to get into nitpicking on whether I agree or not, but I do want to point out the reasons and how I feel about them. And also, I put a poll on Twitter to see who is the most hated one out of all of them, and I'll give the result at the end of the video to see who is more hated. First off, let's start off with our boy Deku of My Hero Academia and why people don't like him. I'm sure the first thing that comes to your head is crybaby. Bah, I hate that argument. From the beginning, we've been shown that he has no friends, he is quirkless, unlike 80% of the population, he gets bullied a lot, and not just by bullies, but by his so-called best friend, a lot, which is Bakugo. And he's kind of a dork, or like a fanboy for All Might, which is not a bad thing. So when we get to the meat of the show, and we see a bullied child meet his idol, gain a quirk, and get accepted into his dream school all in 1 year, yeah, like honestly, who's not going to get emotional and cry a bit? Like seriously, his life has drastically changed more than anyone in the animes in a really fast span of time too, which will obviously have an impact on a person, and rightfully so. And I hate to be analytical Andy here, but so one thing I also did on Twitter is, it was actually shown by my friend here, Midiko, who I'll put up now. Midiko showed me a thread showing how many times he's actually cried, including the manga too. This isn't just in the anime. What we've seen is actually he's only cried literally only 25 times. And honestly, I don't think that's a lot, especially for everything that he's gone through. Like, the guy's almost died a couple times too. Another thing I see is that he is a wimp and that he's boring. And man, you know, I honestly don't know how to tackle these points, because for someone to think a character is boring is really subjective, like comedy. You know, there's always characters or people that seem boring to you but might seem great to others and amazing to others. And a wimp, honestly, I don't know about that one. We haven't been shown Deku backing down from a major fight ever. And we're shown in the first episode that his mindset literally made him go into a fight to save Bakugo. The guy didn't even have a quirk, and his body literally made him jump into the fight, which doesn't seem very wimpish if you ask me. Go on to our other main character, who is the newer one, and that's Tanjiro Kamado of Demon Slayer. This one, personally, I don't think it's really fair. Most of what I see for him is hate coming from people who just despise Demon Slayer itself, or people saying that he's just generic. Like, that's honestly the main things I see, is that A, he's boring, and B, they just hate the anime. So because they hate the anime, they just hate him. And that's really it. I've never really seen a super compelling argument for why people don't like Tanjiro, other than for like likes or something like that. I don't see the argument here. I do like Deku and Tanjiro. They both have one thing in common, and that's kindness, which maybe is not that interesting to some, because they just want to see a badass character with a big ass sword that can mess some people up. But honestly, I feel like I resonate more with Tanjiro, and I don't feel like he's generic and bland like other characters. We have a kind character who lives in a really dark, demon-filled world. One day, this guy goes to work, comes back home, and his whole family is dead. Like, except for his sister, by the way, who turned into a demon, which some would say is even worse than death, especially in the Demon Slayer world. So I feel personally like if we're talking about a generic character, then he would just be bloodlust for killing demons with hate and vengeance, and it would just be a big old revenge story of just this badass character just fighting demons, you know, with hate in his heart, just trying to avenge his family. But Tanjiro, being the kind and compassionate character that he is, makes me feel like when he kills them, he doesn't actually look at them like, oh, I'm gonna kill you. Like, I feel like when he does this, he feels like he's setting these demons free and just releasing them from their inner pain. He honestly feels for every demon that he kills, and to me, that doesn't get old at all. And I think he's a great role model, especially for children. One thing to remember that's really important here is that these are shonen characters, which means, guess what? They're directed at a younger audience. And I'm not trying to shit on you for liking shonen. I love shonen, and I'm not a younger audience, but I feel like when it comes to being a role models, they both fit the mold for a younger person to look up to and respect both Deku and Tanjiro in their life. Everyone has an opinion, and I don't think you're wrong for disliking these characters. I really don't. I made this video kinda to express my thoughts on them and hopefully spark a conversation between us fans of animes and mangas. Now, here's the results of the poll. It is very one-sided, and I mean, honestly, I mean, from what the video, you can tell that, you know, I don't really agree. But then again, I don't hate any of them, so my opinion doesn't really matter on this one. But here it is. This is what the majority of my Twitter feed says. If you ever want to be included in future videos or things like that, follow me on Twitter. Let's talk. Suggest me some stuff to watch, read, this and that. If you made it this far into the video, thank you very much for sticking around. I made this channel to build a community where we can all talk about animes and mangas that we love. So if you're into that, leave a like, subscribe. If not, I hope you at least enjoyed the video. But other than that, I'm going to keep it short and sweet, guys. Thanks for coming to Jack's Corner. See ya.